time to get started. I'm scared. Hello and welcome back. My name is Elizabeth. It is Wednesday, January 29th. It's nighttime. I have no idea what the lighting is like gonna be in this video clip. It is now officially 15 weeks until my 1-year anniversary on YouTube when I started this writing channel. 15 weeks. I mean, it's like 3.5 months. So I know that's like an odd time to be talking about it, but I want to finish Act 2 in 15 weeks. And you might be like, that's a heck of a long time. Shouldn't you be able to write a whole book in that amount of time? And you know, maybe if I was Stephen King, but I'm not. So, when I counted the scenes, also I'm like petting a cat right now. I don't know if you can see him. Oh, you don't like to be held, okay. Anyway, when I counted the scenes originally of Act 2, there was 25 scenes. I know I'm gonna be, I've already been adding scenes and splitting some scenes in half. I'm gonna be cutting scenes, so it's just a thereabouts, but if I finish 2 scenes per week for the next 15 weeks, then by the time my 1-year anniversary on YouTube comes around, I will have finished Act 2. And it seems, when I say it out loud, it seems like a teeny tiny goal, and you're like, that's a pathetic goal. Such a long time, such a little amount of work. But okay, here's the thing. In the recent past, I have been doing like a scene a month. 1 scene per month. And so this would be 2 scenes per week, which is drastically increase the amount of scenes that I am doing. So, will I be able to get it done? I don't know. I'm not very good about adhering to goals. Usually I psych myself out and get scared and then just like never do anything because I get frozen and I'm unable to accomplish the goals. So usually I try to set teeny tiny goals, and so even my goal of 25 scenes in 15 weeks is a much bigger goal than I'm normally used to setting. So, I'm scared, but it is a Wednesday. May 15th is my 1-year anniversary, also a Wednesday, so that's exactly 15 weeks from now. So, and there's some leeway, because obviously if I write 2 scenes per week, that's 30 scenes. Initially, there was 25 scenes thereabouts in Act 2. I've probably worked on like, I don't know, 4-ish. The scene order, everything keeps getting moved around and changed and confused, and I'm not really sure. But, starting from where I am now, I have some leeway. I'm aiming for about 2 scenes per week, but if I miss that 1 week, then it won't all fall apart because I have some room for fluctuation, because 15 times 2 equals 30, not 25. But, so, that is my goal. Can I do it? I don't know. I don't even want to, at first I was like, I'm not even going to tell YouTube that I'm making this goal, because, what if I fail? You'll all be disappointed in me, and you'll leave, and you'll never watch my videos again. So, but then I decided, no, maybe it'll be good to hold myself accountable. So, will I hit the goal? I have no idea. I struggle with goal setting and maintaining, but we might as well give it a go, Maybe just try. I had hoped that by starting my YouTube channel, it would help me write, so I wouldn't be like writing in a vacuum. I'd be surrounded by all these other writers, and by achieving this goal, hopefully, it will help me out in progressing closer to publication, because right before I started this YouTube channel, I had just finished the first draft of this story, which means even if I am able to finish Act 2 in the next 15 weeks, my goodness, that was a long pause, then it would still be over a year that I was working on draft 2, which is a long time. That's longer than I would like to spend on my writing. And, I normally just write, like, on the whim of the tide. Is that a phrase? By the light of the moon? I normally just write, when it feels good, and it's not very structured. I have, in the last 11 years, this is my 6th novel. So I've written 5.5 novels. I mean, I've written 6 novels, but the 5 ones were all, like, edited to where I thought and revised, and they were finished. So, 6 novels in 11 years, that's not that bad. I mean, that's like, it is almost 2 years per novel, which I guess is probably too long for like a general publication schedule, but still, it's not that bad. So, if I can get better about setting and maintaining writing goals, then hopefully I can start writing books in shorter amounts of time rather than taking 2 years per book, and that might just help me overall, in my life. We shall see. It's the very beginning right now, today, Wednesday, January 29th. Will I be able to achieve this goal? I hope so, but I don't know. If I can't, please stick around with me. I'm just trying. Also, whoops, one more thing. So to start this goal, it would be by next Wednesday, I will have finished scenes 15 and 16. Last night, I added 129 words to scene 15, just as like a little jump start on my week of writing on a Tuesday. The weeks are going to be weird now because I'm counting from Wednesday to Wednesday as a week. Just go with it. So 129 words is not very much, and you know, I'm trying not to let the terror get me down. So hopefully by next Wednesday, I will have finished scenes 15 and 16. That could be an outrageous plan. I don't know, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see together. Alright, it is 9:40 p.m. and I have now added 80 more words to scene 15. We're making progress. Scene 15, you know, still a ways to go, but I'm working on it. Alright, it is now just after 6 p.m. the next day, Thursday, February 1st. Last night I was able to add 323 more words to scene 15, which was great. Scene 15 is not quite done yet, but it's getting there. But so my family is coming to visit this weekend, so I don't think I'm going to get much writing done Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or at least like Friday, Saturday, and then like early Sunday. But I was realizing yesterday when I was working on scene 15 that scene 16 is going to have two major problems. First problem is the location of scene 15. Because of certain world building aspects I have now included in draft 2, the location of scene 15 scene 16 no longer exists. So scene 16 is going to have to find a new location somehow, and I'm still not sure what that location is going to be. Second major problem is when I was writing the first draft in scene 16, like an important, exciting event has to happen in order for the story to keep going. But when I was writing the first draft, I wasn't sure what that event was. So I just wrote literally like a sentence of something exciting happens, and then I kept going, and now when I arrive at scene 16, I'm going to have to put that exciting thing into the scene, and I'm still not quite sure what it is going to be. So, scene 16 is going to be a doozy, but if I want to start out strong in my new goal of writing 2 scenes per week in draft 2 for the next 15 weeks, then I'm going to have to finish scene 16 before Wednesday. Today's Thursday, so I have, just under a week. I'm not yet finished with scene 15, and I don't know yet, I don't even have ideas yet for how to solve either of the 2 major problems that I'm going to face in scene 16. So there's that. Also, not sure if I said this, but yes, I am wearing the same shirt I was wearing last night. It's fine. We're letting it slide. Alright, it's 11:24 p.m. I have added 83 words to scene 15. Slow progress here. Alright, it is now Friday, February 2nd. I did not finish scene 15 last night. I was hoping I would, but I was struggling, and then the connective tissue between scenes 15 and 16 isn't really connective tissue. The 2 scenes just kind of bump directly against each other. So that connective tissue is really just a part of scene 15, and I wasn't sure what I should be doing. So I just left it blank, and so scene 15 is still not done. But I was able to, yesterday when I was working on it, think of a potential solution for the location problem that scene 16 is going to have. Obviously, I haven't tried to implement it yet into scene 16, but I'm thinking it should work, and so that's good. The location problem potentially is solved. The exciting event that needs to happen in scene 16, not solved. Still no idea what that's going to be. So that's where we are. I don't know. I got really stuck because the connective tissue always gets me stuck, and it wasn't working, and I wasn't sure what I should be doing, so I just left it blank right now. So yeah, now Friday, so I probably won't be able to write again until Sunday, so then we'll have Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for me to finish scene 15 and scene 16 if I'm going to stay on track for my new goal of 2 scenes per week. For the first week in the goal, I haven't even successfully done this once yet. This is my first opportunity. So we're gonna have 3 days. Can I do it? I hope so. I don't know. slow down. Alright, it is now Monday, February 5th, I believe. My cat's standing on its hind legs, look out the window. Yesterday, after my family left, I was able to finish the connective tissues between scenes 15 and 16, which is good because I now have today and tomorrow to pretty much start and finish scene 16 if I'm going to stay on track to writing 2 scenes each week, a week being Wednesday to Wednesday. I don't know if I can do it, but I have to try it. Yesterday was interesting because I realized a couple of things. First, I think this is the most ambitious book I have ever tried to write. Partly because of the extensive historical and informational research that needed to be done and still needs to be done for the story, and also because of the extensive original creative world building that needs to be done and needed to be done, throughout the whole time I've been writing it. But something that was interesting yesterday was I went on this spiral of world building, which was really quite interesting. I'm not sure I've ever, I don't know if I've ever really done anything like that for my books before. The world is so vast, to me, and rich and deep with history that you went down the rabbit hole of world building yesterday, and I started thinking maybe the world is so rich that the story wants a dual timeline in order to fully experience the history of the world. I don't know, it was kind of a unique thought I was having yesterday. It's definitely not going to be a draft 2 thing if I want to include, maybe a few chapters of dual timeline. I don't know, it was just kind of interesting, so I was thinking about it and writing notes yesterday. Whether or not I do it, it's not going to be happening in draft 2 because I need to figure out this story before I try to integrate a dual timeline. If I want to, I don't know, that could have just been, wild late night thoughts that I was having. I don't know. But it was fun and interesting, and it made me feel fully immersed in the world and the story, and I liked it. So then, I did all that, and then I was able to finish the connective tissue between scenes 15 and 16, and then I think I kind of started, because now that scene 16 is taking place in a totally different location, there's a lot of it that just needs to be cut, much of the scene is pretty much just being rewritten. And so I started last night going through and just cutting the sentences that no longer apply to the scene. I didn't really begin scene 16, and some sentences that no longer apply but that I still like, that I want to be somewhere else in the story, I moved them into comments in the margins. So they're no longer in the story, but they're still available to be used. And then some were just unnecessary, so I cut them. So now scene 16 is very piecemeal, very sentences, just a bunch of floating sentences. The exciting event that was supposed to still happen, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if maybe there's not even going to be an exciting event. I don't know. I only have today and tomorrow to finish scene 16. Can I do it? I don't know. But I feel kind of all reinvigorated about the story because I did all this world building and had really good time. And yet somehow I'm not sure if that's translating into me getting a bunch done in draft 2. I don't know. We will just see. One of the other things I was wondering about yesterday was I can't really remember what I counted as scenes when I was counting them. Because scenes 15, 16, and 17 just all bump right into each other, without connective tissue. When I was counting scenes, did I count them all as 1 scene? Did I count them as 3 scenes? I don't know. At the moment I'm counting them as 3 scenes, but that's just making it easier for me to work on them. So if I originally counted them as 1 scene, maybe there was, going to be a whole lot more than 25 scenes in Act 2. I don't know. I don't remember what I was counting as a scene when I was counting. But, I guess we're just going to have to go with what I count as scenes now. And so, scenes 15, 16, and 17, could technically be all just 1 scene, but that would be a very large scene and different things happen, so it's fine. It's all fine. Am I making it easier on myself? I don't know. But that's what we're going with. So, scene 16, here I go. But not scene 17, because that'll be for next week, hopefully. today I had a bit of an Icarus moment, I suppose, after all of that enthusiasm about my world building escapades yesterday. I was all fired up yesterday, and then I like completely crashed and burned when I sat down to start writing today. I was just inundated with all those thoughts of, you'll never actually be able to do it. It'll all be terrible. Nobody will care about reading this. It's all just gonna fail. You should just stop trying. You should stop trying altogether. Just stop writing. You're a terrible writer. And I try not to let those thoughts beat me, but today those thoughts won. So I think the best option for me is to just go to bed and then start fresh tomorrow. I know I'm leaving pretty much all of scene 16 for me to do tomorrow, but yeah, I just had a rough mental day, so I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes people say, this self-loathing is part of being a writer, but I wish that it worked because it's annoying and I don't know how to get around it. Sometimes those doesn't matter how fired up you get about your story, you can't knock it down. So that's where I was today. I'm hoping tomorrow will be better. It is now Tuesday, February 6th. I have 2,100 words left in this iteration of scene 16. My goal was to finish it all before tomorrow. I still want to try, and you might think, well, 2,100 words, that's not that many. But so far this week in this vlog, I have edited, or what I've worked on was 1,300 words. So, I told you I've been going slow. I've been having hard times. But I feel like I'll feel accomplished or something, proud of myself, if I'm able to finish these 2 scenes this week. And by finishing these 2 scenes, I mean completing the next 2,100 words before tomorrow. The sun is about to set, but I'm feeling like I can do it. I gotta at least try. It is now just about 9 p.m. and I did it. I finished scene 16. I feel like not celebratory, and I think that's just because I could tell it was kind of like flimsy writing that I was doing in scene 16. But I know I can fix it later, and when I came to the point where something exciting is supposed to happen, I just saved that little bit as a comment in the margins, so that I can have something exciting happen later and we could just keep building to it. And I actually feel like, maybe that would be okay. Maybe I'm just rationalizing it, but maybe it would be okay to build the suspension a little longer and just let that exciting thing take place later in the story. I don't know. Things still happen in scene 16. It might be like when I come back here in draft 3 or something, I might decide either to scrap the whole scene or to have something exciting happen. I don't know. But for now it's done. There was a lot of adding and deleting, but in the end, I added about a net of 100 words to scene 16. And now, after 1 week, I finished 2 scenes in draft 2, and I am now officially able to begin scene 17. Which means I did it. I finished my goal. My goal was 2 scenes in 1 week, and I did it. They were poorly written and perhaps not very long scenes, but it was a good starting place. All I have to do is do the same thing now 14 more times. Stay with me.